All right, welcome back, everybody. You might remember our next guest from her powerful book, Put on Your Big Girl Shoes, Stepping into Courage, Resilience, and Gratitude.
Dr. Lori Stevic-Rust is a psychologist and is out with a new children's book. It's called Lily's Red Shoes of Courage.
It focuses on teaching kids how to stand up for themselves and others. We're so happy to welcome Dr. Lori. So we were doing this little saying earlier before the show, because we were just saying, go ahead, say it.
We were doing a little show prep, and I had some trouble when I was a little kid, and so when someone would call you a jerk, it was told to me this is how to respond. Well, a jerk is a tug is a boat is on water is nature is beautiful, thank you for the compliment.
How awesome is that?
I don't know, I retain that.
It's a little way
down. And here you are, like a little bit later on in life, and it's stuck with you.
It's stuck with me.
It's a wonderful story, actually. It's a good segue in.
Tell us about the book.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I put out the book, Put on Your Big Girl Shoes for women. It was really a book to focus on how do we step into our confidence and our courage and resilience and empathy. And the book allowed me to interview one of the last remaining Holocaust survivors who really talked about empathy and about the power of that. And that really is what moves us out of our hate and all of those important themes. And so as I was speaking, people were saying, boy, we need something that we could talk to our children about that. And not just in the middle school, which is where we know bullying really hits hard, but well before that. So I ventured into an area, I put on my big girl shoes and ventured into an area that was completely unknown to me to write this book. And the book really focuses on how children can become upstanders as opposed to bystanders. That feeling of empowerment, that you don't have to stand and just snicker and laugh when you're watching somebody be bullied because you want to be part of it, or you don't want to be targeted, or worse, standing silently and just watching it happen. So giving them some tools to move from being a bystander to an upstander is really what this book is all about.
And to talk to us about, because we've all been there.
Yeah.
We've seen people, I think just about everybody's been bullied at one point in their life.
At least, yeah.
And we've seen people get bullied, and it's so easy to just get behind the bully and like laugh because it's not us this time.
Right. Right.
How do we get around that?
Well,
what do you teach kids?
Yeah, I think the very first and most important thing for children is the same as it is for us as adults, which is to remind ourselves that empathy is hard work. Empathy isn't just like we naturally move into that. We have to consciously choose to be empathic. And for little ones, they have to be able to relate. So they have to be able to read somebody's signals. Like, are you sad? Does your face say you're sad? Oh, I know. When I was like that, that's how I felt. It's really helping them imagine themselves into the lives of the other children, first and foremost. And then giving them specific tools like, you know how that felt when you weren't included, or you know how it felt when somebody said something mean and everybody laughed. So it's getting them into the shoes of somebody else first. And then the other part is really teaching them that just because you didn't do it, but you laughed, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. Yeah, and so really helping, and again, this is for very young children, to build that compassion and that empathy so that they can develop their internal strength to go, call it out. That's mean, I don't want to be your friend. Getting other people to participate, like, come on, this isn't how we want to treat Sue. Like helping other children, because we know bullies thrive on an audience.
Absolutely.
So we know that teaching kindness at a young age is so important, because that'll just structure them and give them a template for their later years. But what you've done in this children's book, and what I really like about it, is that yes, it's a children's book and it's perfectly written for that, but it is so meaningful for an adult as well, because people get bullied in the workplace, people get bullied anywhere, and the empowerment that you're talking about kind of makes us shed our skin of insecurity. So how do we, from a child, especially from a female perspective, shed that skin of insecurity, because we all have it, and it's so frustrating sometimes.
Right. Well, and I think underneath all of these themes that we're talking about is the power of being real. One of my favorite books as a child was The Velveteen Rabbit, and it really talks about what it takes to be real. It's not easy. People who are prickly and who are easily broken, they're never really real because they've got the big facade going. So I think for us to step into our confidence and our courage is to really say, this is me. Here are my strengths. Here's my struggles. This is the whole package of who I am. Because when we show up in our lives real, like that, we absolutely have our own confidence. And then we can recognize in somebody else, I don't expect you to be perfect because I'm not.
Right.
It's about, again, trying to imagine ourselves into the lives of somebody else that helps us raise our own level of confidence.
Will this help little boys as well as little girls?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We focused on girls because what we found is that for little girls, there's a different level of bullying, there's a different level of self-esteem issues, but recognizing that all of these things are universal. And even when I'm talking about, so the picture on the screen, I have to say, is an eclectic, very diverse group of beautiful, courageous young girls who participated in the launch. Some of them have physical disabilities. Some of them know what it's like to have parents who, a mom who wears a hijab and what that means when friends come over. So it really raises the awareness of diversity and embracing that in all of its beauty and its confidence.
Thank you, Doc.
I know, and she made all of those shoes. Now,
I did,
yes, she
and
did.
We have, the red shoes of courage on.
Absolutely beautiful.
And to learn more about Dr. Lori's new book, visit drlori.net.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're
Come
welcome.
back,
Thank
okay?
you. I will.